Hello Internet, it's that time again where we delve into the darkest depths of the internet and dissect the deepest dangers of the human mind. Welcome back to Top 5 Scary Videos, and as always I'll be your host Jack Finch as we take a look today at 5 scary Russian experiments. Now, we're making some interesting moves over here at Top 5 Scary Videos, and in the next few weeks, we've got a little surprise or two in store. So, before we begin this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and show some love, and let us know what's up in the comment box down below. Throughout history, there have been countless tales of creepy and disturbing human experiments taking place in the secretive shadows of society, all in the name of science. But in Russia, well, they do things a little bit differently. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union was one of 2 superpowers on the planet, and to keep their edge on all things scientific, some pretty insane experiments were conducted. So, let's take a look at them, shall we? Jumping in, we have zombie dogs. In 1940, the Soviet Union released a 20-minute long motion picture titled Experiments in the Revival of Organisms, conducted by a Soviet research group who were focusing on the potential resuscitation of dead organisms. The video shows in great length canines being killed and then brought back to life in various different horrifying ways. Now, I love me some doggos, so I'm not gonna lie, this little bit's gonna be a little bit rough. Credited to Dr. Sergei Brukhanoko and Boris Levinskovsky, the video shows several severed dogs' heads that have been kept alive for hours on end. These poor guys were even wiggling their ears still, licking their mouths, and responding to the humans around them. The 2 scientists claimed that the animals were kept alive by an artificial blood circulation system. Crazily enough, the doctors developed a new version to be used on humans that very same year, and well, no one really knows what happened after that. The doctors went on to be awarded the prestigious Lenin Prize, although some commentators have questioned the film's authenticity, claiming that the severed dog's head only survived for a few minutes when attached to the artificial heart. So, the real story, no one knows, and it's nasty stuff. Coming in at number 4, we've got underwater cities. In the 1960s, the Soviets decided that land just wasn't enough, so they changed things up a bit and headed underwater. By 1966, the Ichthyander project was well underway by a group of amateur divers at their own site in the Crimea. Well, it seemed that in Soviet Russia, anyone could take a pop at experimental science, and that's exactly what happened. And, well, it was pretty much an unrivaled success. That same year, as part of the project, a human being spent 3 days continuously underwater, held in a small metal structure at the bottom of the Black Sea. It picked up some serious hype, and the underwater project soon attracted the attention of the Soviet science authorities. This led to an even bigger push into the experimental field, and in 1967, the project operated an underwater habitat for over 2 weeks. Mysteriously, after that, Project Ichthyander was abruptly dissolved, but records state that the research led to several other Soviet experiments into underwater habitats, such as Sadko, Chernomor, and Sprut. These sites actually exist, so kind of makes you think, are they still down there? Next up at number 3, we have the 2-headed dog. Man, here's another rough doggo video, but well, sadly, it seems like man's best friend was the test subject of choice in most early hybrid experimentation. Such is the case with Dr. Vladimir Petrovich Demikov. Born in Moscow in 1916, this Soviet scientist dedicated his life's work to what he referred to as transplantology. During the 1930s and 50s, Demikov went on to pioneer several organ transplantations, such that had never been done before in medical science, such as a heart transplant for an animal and a lung to heart transplant. His most messed up transplantation though, hands down, is his research into dog head transplants, of course, which, well, resulted in a 2-headed dog experiment. Insanely enough, the experiment was actually a success, and well, he caught a portion of the result on video. Of course, the test subjects sadly didn't survive very long, but this experiment paved the way for other animal head transplants, such as apes. Dr. Demikov's true legacy though was to perform human head transplants. No thank you. And swinging in at number 2, we've got man-monkey hybrids. Yep, you heard that correctly. Born in the small town of Shigry, Ilya Ivanovich Ivanov was a Soviet biologist that was the definition of a real-life mad scientist. Now, in reality, Ivanov's research in other fields led to some pretty groundbreaking stuff, particularly in the field of horse breeding. But his main hang-up was that he was absolutely obsessed with making a human human-ape hybrid. As early as 1910, Ivanov had given a presentation on his plans for human-ape life to the World Congress of Zoologists in Graz, where he outlined his plans to create this simian hybrid. So in the 1920s, Ivanov set about his experiments working with human sperm and female chimpanzees. It didn't work though, but Ivanov was determined. So in 1929, he organized another set of experiments, this time involving ape sperm and human volunteers. The experiments were publicly delayed due to the death of Ivanov's last orangutan, but no one really knows the true outcome of his life's work. In the 1930s, after a political shakeup in the Soviet scientific world, Ivanov was arrested and exiled to Alma-Ata in Kazakhstan, where he later died of a stroke. But who knows whether his legacy lives on in the dark corners of the scientific world. And finally, at our number one spot, we have Laboratory 1. In 1921, the Soviet Secret Service, also known as the Cheka, undertook various tests on deadly poisons in an aim to create the perfect biological weapon. In 1939, the small test location was renamed Laboratory 1 and came under the command of notorious Soviet biochemist Grigory Marinovsky. Their objective was the stuff of horrors and set a precedent that would use animals and humans as test subjects to perfect their methods of mass extermination. Marinovsky and his team of scientists would test their poisons on human prisoners from Russian gulags, who they dubbed the so-called enemies of the people. These poisons included mustard gas, ricin, digitoxin and cyanide, and it was given to their victims under the guise of a meal, a drink or even medication that was meant to help them. Eventually, these vile experiments led to the development of CT/K2, a poison which caused victims to become calm and silent, then eventually die within 15 minutes. Although Marinovsky was arrested by Joseph Stalin as part of a political science shakeup, his horrific legacy lived on, and Laboratory 1 was reportedly reactivated in the late 1990s as part of a biological and toxin weapons project. Scary stuff, eh? Well, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comment box down below. Unfortunately for us, that's all we've got time for in today's video. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and be so kind to hit that subscribe bell up above. If you've enjoyed this video, share it with a friend or even your enemy so you can keep them on their toes. As always, it's been a pleasure to see you. I've been your host, Jack Finch. You've been watching Top 5 Scary Videos, and until next time, take it easy.